Okay, hello everybody, I'm Conquering History Games, and welcome to the start of a new live stream series on the channel, which I'm going to be calling Pharaoh Fridays. I know the music is really loud right now, so we're going to just try to jump into the game as quickly as possible so I can adjust things. We're going to create a new family here. We're going to call ourselves the Historia Dynasty, or Historia Dynasty, and start our family history. My family begins in the pre-dynastic period, leading a small band of nomads through their discovery of the arts of civilization. Your leadership helps to set Egypt on its course to eventual greatness, still only glimpsed dimly. Intro movie, and then I will talk things.
It is said that a journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. So may the story of a great nation begin with one dream. The Red Land has given birth to such a dream. Clans of nomads carry it in their heart, across the immeasurable desert and into the land of Egypt.
Change my chair here. Okay, this guy is gonna introduce us to Egypt. We're gonna skip this for right now, because I think we could just come back and read it in a minute. Okay, so there we are. We're actually in the game now. So I want to properly introduce, and yes, I know that little black bar is in the bottom left corner. It's gonna go in a minute, but welcome to the first of what I hope will be many successful Pharaoh Fridays streams here on the channel. So the game that I'm going to be playing starting today is called Pharaoh. Specifically, I'm playing the Pharaoh Cleopatra version, which is a city builder game that takes place in ancient Egypt. So it's going to cover thousands of years of history, where we're starting in, as it showed earlier, the pre-dynastic period. Eventually we'll go through like the Old Kingdom, the intermediate periods, the Middle Kingdom, the New Kingdom, and then way down the line we're going to get to Cleopatra, where we're like looking at the era of, you know, post Alexander the Great and the rise of the Macedonian rulers and things like that. This is a very fun game. One I have not played in a while, so you'll have to bear with me in terms of learning how to be good at this game again. But it's a really fun, I think it's going to be a really nice change of pace for history games. As far as history games are concerned, there is combat, there is war in this game, but usually it's not like it's really not a central part of it, except for very specific war scenarios. But I think what we're going to do is, at least today, we're going to try to get through, see if we can get through the whole pre-dynastic period. I honestly don't remember how long it goes, so maybe we won't get through it today, but I would like to. But essentially, pre-dynastic is just the tutorial mode. And incidentally, if you're ever playing this on your own, it's extremely important that you play on normal or lower when you're playing tutorial mode, because, the pre-dynastic era, because, there are certain things that you have to accomplish in every scenario, where it's like you have to upgrade your houses. So you need to make sure that they have access to food, but then if you want fancier houses, they need to have access to more cultural stuff like pottery. A lot of the stuff is locked. So if you look here on the right, incidentally, I just need to switch. Oh, I can't switch this just yet. I'm going to have to go to windowed mode, but it's not going to change for you guys. But you'll notice here on the right that a lot of these buttons are grayed out. So you could actually end up you could end up with this weird situation where it's literally impossible for you to complete a scenario if you're on harder difficulty, because you don't have access to the stuff you need yet. Anyway, so let's okay, so basically this is just saying you gotta get the housing, this is how roads work, it's all pretty straightforward. I'm not gonna read that one. Okay, a couple of things we need to do here though. We need to bring the game speed down. Okay, I already did that. display, we gotta go to window mode. It's a little annoying. I have to do this every single time. But this is just going to allow me to be able to like click outside of the game if I need to fix something on the OBS or whatever. So let's take a minute to talk about what ancient Egypt is. So, oh yeah, this game could be freaking rough. That's right. But so ancient Egypt, when we're talking about ancient Egypt, I want to stress the word ancient. Because you'll sometimes hear the phrase ancient Rome thrown around, for example. Ancient Rome is something that, depending on when you consider the end of antiquity, at least goes until the 300s-ish AD. You've got ancient Greece, who people say is the cradle of modern civilization. Hold on, let me do something here. Let me open one of these just so I could have that paused. Ancient Greece, who gives us Herodotus, right, the father of history or the father of all lies, depending on who you ask. Herodotus was writing about Egypt being ancient. So, to ancient Greece, Egypt was ancient. Like when we're talking about ancient Egypt, we're like this pre-dynastic period we're in. We are over 3,000 years. As you can see here, it says 3,500 BC. Oh, thank you very much for the super chat. CHG, the Roman empires are sometimes considered to be the 34th Egyptian dynasty. Yes, and I'm going to talk about that. So I'm going to basically right now give a broad overview, though, of just how long a period we're talking about when it comes to ancient Egypt. But so ancient Egypt is generally seen to have, been unified because Egypt was split into Upper and Lower Egypt. I don't think I have access to the maps yet, actually. Yeah, I don't think so. Oh, I didn't even open it. Hold on a sec. I want to see if I have access to the maps. I'm pretty sure I don't. Yeah, no, we're not going to have access to it for a little bit. That's okay. But Upper and Lower Egypt were unified 3,100 BC-ish. And if we think of that as the start of ancient Egypt, like the Egyptian civilization, which, we're starting in 3,500 BC, so this is more like, when the first caravans, nomads, groups of humans are just realizing, hey, there's this huge water river, and we can grow food here, and we can hunt here, and whatnot. Maybe we could settle down and create agriculture and stuff like that. But if we think about 3,100 BC as the start of ancient Egypt's chronology, there is then a long period of several kingdoms, several dynasties. We're not going to get bogged down in the dynasties when I'm talking today. As we go through the series, I'll talk about specific dynasties when we get there. But what we just need to know is that there's basically, for right now, three major periods of this ancient Egyptian history. That being the the Old Kingdom, which, again, I cannot stress this enough, the scale of how long ago in our human history ancient Egypt was. If we're saying that ancient Egypt has its start at 3,100 BC, I want to also be extra clear. I really want to be clear about this. 3,100 BC, I'm not saying that's over 3,000 years ago. I go checked it is. That means that was over 5,000 years ago. But if we're saying that that's the start of things, the first couple dynasties of Egypt have a pretty long run, kind of like the Chinese did at first. And then the Old Kingdom starts with the third dynasty in the 2600s. That's going to then continue through 4 different dynasties until the 2100s BC. So that first kingdom, the Old Kingdom on its own, lasts over 500 years, which is much longer than entire countries, major countries in world history have lasted. And so that becomes like a recurring theme when we're talking about ancient Egypt is it's just its sheer endurance. So then there is an intermediate period that lasts about 100 years. Then there's the rise of the Middle Kingdom, which lasts from, and I'm just going to kind of be rounding these numbers to simplify it, which lasts from about 2100 BC to 1700 BC. Then there's a second intermediate period with the invasion of the Hyksos, which there's going to be so much to talk about when we get there, but that's not going to be for a very long time. That lasts about another 100 years. Then you've got the New Kingdom, which lasts from about 1550 to 1100 BC. There's then another intermediate period. The Nubians come in. And then you get into these periods where it kind of gets a little blurry, but there's basically like a late period where the Persians take over. That lasts for several hundred years. Then Alexander the Great shows up. That's when they go Hellenistic. And then there is then the Hellenistic period is actually where like the Macedonians and the Pharaohs. This is the dynasty of Ptolemy, who was one of Alexander's generals. And then eventually you get into Roman Egypt, which is like dubious. Some people consider Roman Egypt part of ancient Egypt. I don't. Maybe that's old-fashioned. For me, Cleopatra dies. That's the end of it. I'm not like, a Mark Antony truther with like his kids were pharaohs, or that, Augustus was pharaoh, and then that means his like the Roman pharaoh thing. It's kind of like one of those Queen Victoria was the Empress of India kind of things. So that's how this game, perhaps because I played this game when I was young, it's what influenced me. But that's how this game is going to treat it. It's going to end with Cleopatra and the war against Julius Caesar. Excuse me, not Julius Caesar. Augustus. Let's see. Ancient Egypt is actually a specific topic I'm studying. Egyptology is still very much alive. Oh yes, Egypt mania has been around for centuries, thousands of years, really. Heck, I was talking about Herodotus earlier. Herodotus was probably the first, I guess you could say, one who put down in writing Egypt mania with high praise. A lot of Herodotus' history. I think people are sometimes quite surprised how much of it is actually dedicated to non-Greek history, because he's contextualizing the world, and that's the end of the book where not the end of the book. I'd say maybe the last fifth of the book. I'd have to look at the chapter. I have a copy in the other room, but I'd say a third of the book actually. Who is dedicated to the war between the Greeks and the Persians. Anyway. So yeah, the Roman emperors were considered pharaohs, but I'm not going to be discussing them in terms of being pharaohs because that's going to be beyond the scope of this game. Anyway, so what does now? So we've established now the timeline of ancient Egypt. So why do we give a crap about them besides how long they were around? Well, they were really very much pioneers in so many different fields. I think it's very safe to say actually that it is ancient Egypt that perhaps just because of its longevity, if nothing else, but it shows that transition of it is the example of that transition of humanity from the hunter-gatherer nomadic people to all those aspects of what we call civilization. Now, of course, they weren't the only ones in the world who came up with a lot of these things. Obviously, there was China, there was the civilizations in India, and et cetera, et cetera. But if we're going to be talking about like what we might call the Western world, you know, like Europe, the Mediterranean, Middle East area, so we're talking about the people who realized how you could tap into the Nile River for agriculture, who realized, you know, you could create a surplus of crops in order to have this population boom, a much more dense population that could support multiple large cities, and in the long term create more complex social hierarchies and culture. And you know, of course, the Sumerians were a thing there too, but like we're just focusing on Egypt right now. But things like the development of writing, the usage of collectivism, like societal collectivism, when we're talking about agriculture, as well as the development and construction of cities, more complex trade with both internally and externally with their nation, a devoted military, like a society, you know, a portion of society dedicated specifically to being military. The creation of bureaucracies, and again, a lot of this stuff is stuff that also went in China. So I'm talking about like the Western world right now, creating bureaucracies, creating more complex religious structures, government administration. The government administration is probably the most important thing they did. You know, mining. You know, going into the Sinai Desert to get copper and stuff like that. Of course, the building of monumental structures such as obelisks and most famously the pyramids. You know, the creation of more complex mathematical systems, cutting edge medicinal thought. Of course, you know, there's like the preservation of bodies and stuff like that. Creating literature. Herodotus talks about how the ancient Egyptians had historical tradition. Admittedly, it was passed orally, not wasn't really written down as much as Herodotus and the Greeks would do it. But you know, again, the seeds are there. And then political development. I think that the earliest peace treaty written in history was the Treaty of Kadesh, which was signed between the Egyptians and the Hittites. Egyptian art, Egyptian advances in science. Like, I think at this point I've been talking about how like amazing Egypt's been for like over 10 minutes. So we probably should get around to this game, but you know, there's going to be a whole lot of Egypt to explore here, and I hope that this is a successful weekly series and that we can have fun. So we're gonna, because I spent so much time talking about the history of Egypt there, we're gonna probably just focus on the gameplay here. Now, there will occasionally, excuse me, I gotta get this fan on. There is occasionally going to be some awkward moments, like especially whenever I'm opening up the new missions. I'm gonna like just skip forward and then go back and check them, just because the narrator, even though it's really cool, you know, I don't want it to slow the live stream down. So anyway, let's actually go ahead and open those missions. I'm trying to remember where you could do that though. Here we go. So this. Oh god, is he gonna talk no matter what? Fuck me. Alright, yeah, so it's basically saying we're more than 5,000 years ago on the banks of the Nile River. A small confederacy of clans struggles to eke out an existence. With you as its head, your family leads this small settlement. And so we have to build 6 meager shanties. So, kind of the premise of this, I don't remember all the details of it, but the premise is that we are going to be... It's kind of like Crusader Kings, right? Where you don't play the country, you play the family. Well, in this game, we're not playing the emperors, at least not at first, but we are playing a person. And this person's family, which I've named the Historia family, we're going to be following them down the centuries, the millennia, really. So I think like the concept, so the idea is like, you know, you have been chosen as you know, the person, you've been chosen by the Pharaoh to found this new city, so you are a city builder. Now eventually I think it's when we get to the New Kingdom, the idea is that our family have now become the pharaohs. It might be the New Kingdom. It might have been the middle. I don't know, but yeah, it's eventually our dynasty will wear the twin crowns of Egypt, which is just a fun little thing. Let me drink some water here. In Herodotus' defense, he wrote down what he heard. Right, I thought he immediately interviewed him. Right, they said he was skeptical. Wrote. Well, we don't want to get. I don't want to get bogged down talking about Herodotus too much, because Herodotus is not going to be born for a few thousand years from where we are right now. So let's just go ahead and get started. So on the right here are all my important. Hold on a second. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and then bop. So we're not going to be, I'm not going to be trying to like, I guess min-max isn't the right word, but I'm not going to be trying too terribly hard just yet to like do perfect city building. I'll probably do some research in my off time. You know, we're just going to try our best to get through the tutorial areas. Now, as somebody said in the chat, this game can be very unforgiving. There are some extremely difficult parts of this game sometimes. So we're not going to run into any of those for a little bit yet. But for right now, we're just going to play through this and go over mechanics mostly. All right. I'm happy to see people coming into the stream, you know, especially if it's a midday weekday stream. KPU Coon Matt says, CHG, love the stream so far. With the update to Kaiserreich, any plans on a new company in the future? I'm guessing you're trying to say campaign. And the answer is yes, absolutely. I actually am going to be later today, beginning recording, which I hope on Sunday to start uploading a brand new Hearts of Iron 4 stream in Kaiserreich, one that I've been wanting to do for a very long time. I'm way overdue. Like, I've literally wanted to do this particular campaign for like 3 years. Yeah, public service announcement: keep the gods happy. Angry gods in this game do not screw around. Oh yeah, you got that right. Oh gosh, I'm gonna sneeze. Excuse me. Yeah, I've heard that about Assassin's Creed, but we're gonna do Pharaoh Fridays for now. But yeah, this next upcoming week and future weeks should be quite busy. Yeah, because we're gonna be, you know, I think I can speed this up a little bit. I don't want to go to 90% because like this is a 1999 game and it's only need, you know, it doesn't really need that much to run. So when you set it to 100%, the game starts to go as fast as your computer can handle. And so when I max it out, everybody just starts going, just zooming all over the screen. You can't keep track of anything. No, I totally understand, Alec. Don't worry about it. So, food or famine. So I will start reading these because this is a bit of an older game, so I got to figure that most people probably don't know how it's played. But also it'll be a good refresher for me. So a growing population needs a... And by the way, I have played this game before. I did play it when I was a kid. I remember I think I got it for like $2 out of a bin somewhere. The CD. But yeah, I remember like building the pyramids and fighting the wars against the Hittites and stuff like that. But a lot of fun to be had. I think this is going to be very great. But I can't wait until we can start building monuments again. Those were my favorite things to do. A growing population needs so food or famine. A growing population needs a reliable source of food and some means of storing and distributing it. Certain animals, like the ostriches in this region, can be hunted for game. Granaries store game and other foods, while bazaars distribute the food to the village's inhabitants. As with most working structures, in order to function properly, these buildings must be located within reach of housing, and the city must have enough workers to staff them. Hunting for food. Build a hunting lodge close to the ostrich flocks, and hunters will set out in search of prey. If successful, they'll bring the carcasses back to the lodge to be butchered, after which a cart pusher will deliver them to the nearest granary for storage. Different workers from the bazaar assess the needs of the neighborhoods they serve, acquire food from nearby granaries, and deliver this food to the houses in their immediate vicinity to meet these needs. So you see, it's just showing a nice little picture. So you see, there's the hunting lodge. They go kill a bird. They take it to the big storehouse, who takes it to the bazaar, and the bazaar takes the food out to the neighborhood. And so it'll just get progressively more and more stuff is needed. So, build granaries and bazaars by clicking on Storage and Distributions Storage button. Ultimately, your goal in this mission is to transform some of your crude huts into meager shanties. This is accomplished by providing them with water and food from the bazaar. Also, make sure they're not too close to any unsightly industrial buildings or inferior housing, which discourage home improvements by lowering the desirability of the area. We can talk about homeowners associations and how good or bad they are later. You will eventually learn various ways to increase an area's desirability. For now, though, simply avoid locating homes too near to industries. And then there is an overseer of the granaries who will provide information and advice. In time, you'll have many advisors to help run your city. So, yeah, this is what they're talking about here. So, like, here you can look at stuff that's showing the population history. It's been growing and things like that. So you see, like, right here he's saying, we produce far too little food. Our growing city will need more. It's like, hey, yeah, there's no freaking food. We're going to go ahead and create a well just for aesthetics mostly. But let's set up the hunting lodge up here. Then we will get a granary, right? I'll put it over here so you guys can watch them walk back and forth. And then, of course, a bazaar. Get a little bit more people here. And you see you got to build the houses first, because then that populates the hunters. So you see how they're just running right out, because if we look here, this lodge has all the workers it needs. The hunters are stalking every herd they can find, so you need 6 people to run this ideally, and 6 we do have. Yeah. Basically, at some point, the mechanics of the game will force you to gentrify your cities. Yeah. 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 Now it's not like though this company Impression Games also has a different one, which maybe I'll play sometime, called Kingdoms, or no, it's, yeah, wait, what's it called? No, Emperor Rise of the Middle Kingdom, which is about China's dynasties and is also very good. I like this game more though, because the China one has this this feng shui mechanic which gets on my freaking nerves. But in the China game, they set up where there are 2 different types of houses. So here there's just basically the one house, but in the China game, you'll have like regular homes, which can still turn out really, really nice. But then you have specifically the upper class part of town, which even their worst buildings are like so nice. So clean water, you've managed to supply this village's granary with food. Now the villagers need access to clean water from a water supply, which is much preferred over well water. Like wells, these must be built on land with underlying groundwater, as indicated by the presence of green grass growing. Water supplies also need access to employees and nearby housing. Once up and running, a water supply will dispatch a water carrier to deliver buckets of clean drinking water to all the houses in its immediate vicinity. Click Overlays Water to see which houses have access to clean water, from a water supply to simple well water to no water source at all. To complete this mission, you need to provide 6 sturdy huts with food from a bazaar, so they'll evolve into meager shanties. So, yeah, let's look at the water one, or where is the, how do we look at the water table? So, Nilometer prediction. Priests predict the city will be blessed with a perfect inundation in the coming year. So, that has to do with farming, which we're not doing right now. But we'll just go ahead and set up this water supply. Now, I think the way it works is that bazaars and wells and whatnot, the person carrying the food or carrying the water can only go like 50 steps away. Now there's going to be ways that we could eventually cheese things. So for example, when they run out of steps, they'll always take the shortest route back. So maybe you could set things up in a circle where the circle is like 49 steps or something. So the no matter what, and like you set up your, I'm just giving a hypothetical. Let's say you set up the bazaar on one end, then they take 49 steps and they take a turn. And instead of turning around and going back the way they went, it's actually shorter for them to just go back on the road that is in front of them. So that's how you force them to create a circle, because you know it's really hard to assign the way the directions that they go in, so it could end up being a little bit tricky sometimes. Urbanization's inevitable. Eat the landlords. Oh man, freaking landlord knocked on my door yesterday. Obviously, not anything fun. Okay, a fire has broken out in the village. To protect against future fires, you can now build firehouses. So the fire marshals will also inspect the buildings, and whatnot. And so you see when they discover the fire, the marshal will move in to douse the flame. Okay, overlay risks to see which buildings are in danger of catching fire. So I don't actually remember where the overlays are, which is a pretty important thing to know. Oh, here we go, overlays. Yeah, so... Oh, wait, shit. First things first, we need to... close that. Oh, God. Oh, God. There we go. Here we go. So let's set up the firehouse quickly. All right. The fire in the city, yeah, it's letting me know. So you see, everything's together, so it's moving quickly. Now we're going to have to clear this land. Why would you not frickin' start over there? If it spreads one more time, I'm going to be pissed with him. So yeah, you see he's got his water buckets. There he goes. Okay, see, like we cleared the space. We're all good. So we just lost a lot of buildings there, unfortunately. But we'll have to just carry on. We'll set up the water supply and the bazaar again. So yeah, we have these overlays here, so we can look at the water. So basically everybody's got it. Or it says no. Oh wait, no, they do not have it. Excuse me. Wait, did it just say there was another fire? What the fuck did you just say? There's more. Hold on. Oh gosh, I'm trying to remember how I close this. Oh god, I don't know what I just did. I think we're glitching out. Uh-oh. Hold on. I might need to switch something here. Okay. I want the overlays to go away. Oh, shoot. Okay, now I can't see anything on the right. I seem to have, I've made an oopsie. A serious oopsie. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna save the game. And maybe load it back up. There we go. Okay, that was weird. So yeah, we didn't have, okay. This is now blanked out. Son of a fucking bitch. Alright, so we're not gonna mess with the overlays, I think. Clearly. So we're gonna have to exit the game and come back in, I guess. That's weird. You know, it's an old thing. Guzman, calm down! Come on. So we just need to boot some stuff up. Give me a minute here. Very sorry about that. Yeah, then we never opened the overlays. You know, it's an old game. It's difficult to convert over. These things might occasionally happen. Come on. Come on. Come on. Okay, we're back. Very, very sorry about that. So you see, that's a perfect reason why I tend to build firehouses. Like, I kind of go overboard sometimes with the firehouses, as well as the let's get a couple of these up. Hold on. And other things that we're going to need later. But what is it called? The architects, to make sure that things don't collapse. There we go. Okay, so yeah, we're let's go hit up these ostriches again. When aren't old games that have lost both dev company and publisher not a pain in the ass to emulate in our model age? Yeah, exactly. So, like, as you can see here, the fire marshal, he's going out there. Oh, no, that's not the right one I'm looking. But yeah, I like that you could look at any of the people in these cities and you could talk, like, they'll tell you something when you check them out. So, like, right here, this little boy, his name is Pharaoh. Maybe one day I'll carry basket. Maybe I just carry baskets right now, but one day I'll run the bazaar. So he's working at the bazaar. When there's the fire marshal here. Firefighting's hard work, and I'd love to cool off with a good show, but there's not enough of that here. So they'll also give you hints. So like he's saying, oh, we need to get freaking culture. I want to see a show. I want to see some jugglers. Now we don't have the ability to do that yet because we're still in the tutorial mode. But later on we can get things like that, like musicians and jugglers and stuff. As you know, society will continue to develop. You know, we'll be able to do things like that. We'll be able to farm. We'll be able to mine. We'll be able to make them pay taxes. Let's go. We like taxes because but more than taxes, we like trade. Yeah, your citizens will always complain about something no matter what. Tell me about it. One of my favorite comedians is this guy Patton Oswalt, and he's very political. Kind of less so as he's gotten older, but he's he you know, like when he was young, he would like talk about how like George W. Bush was going to bring about the apocalypse or whatever. But he has a bit. It was he had recorded a special, and I think it was right before President Obama got elected the first time. And he was saying, like, if he turns out to be a miracle worker, and he's just like, let's say like he just did all these amazing things, and like, you know, just took us into a new space age or something, would there still be two racists in Alabama who don't like him because he's black? And he's going like, you know, this freaking new president, you know, the government blowjob robot that they issued us, mine broke down after only 6 years, you know? It's not about the taxes, it's about the Mets, baby. Love the Mets. Come on, let's get a home run, baby. Love the Mets. Okay, to Historia the First. Yes, the first of my dynasty. How fun. Anyway, did I not? Wait, I thought I set up another firehouse. I guess I didn't. Oh, it's because you can't see it. Yeah, I'm trying to remember how you could actually rotate things. I don't remember what's the button for that. There is a way to do it, though. Oh, well, doesn't matter. So let's see right here. So we have our meager shanties here. We have 1, 2. So it's saying like right here, this meager shanty. This house cannot evolve as it has no access to any local religious facilities. But there's 36 people living in there. So you'd be amazed how many people are squeezing in these houses. So there we go. We have victory, 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 and we can now proceed. Well done. By filling your people's bellies with nourishing food and protecting their homes from fire and collapse, you have helped this fledgling civilization take its first step on the long road of history. Okay, let's carry on. So now we're going to need to build 10 ordinary cottages and mine some gold for the palace treasury. Of course, now almost whenever you have a mission that has gold on the map, you're on easy mode, because unless you're timed, you're just going to have infinite cash. And like, cash is something that I'll admit is my weakest part of the game. So we got to establish Thynis in Upper Egypt. so we could extend influence over Lower Egypt. Alright, so let's get into it. Mining gold. Search rocky areas for the presence of metal ore evidenced by shiny metallic patches among the rocks. In order to extract the ore, you must build gold mines adjacent to these veins. So you see, this is what's kind of annoying here, is like I gotta every time go to the Windows screen like that. Every time I get in. Alright. So what were we gonna talk about? We were going to now do this one. Okay. So this is obviously going to have to do with money. As you can see, we have 3,000 Debin at the start. I forget what... I think that there's ways from like turn to turn it'll just how much gold you start with. But it's never enough, if you ask me. Okay. Let's first figure out where we want to put the mines. So you see, there's lots of gold up here. Lots and lots of it. I think we're just going to set up like 3 for right now. And we'll right now do this. Let's clear these. Okay. We're gonna do 2, 4, 6, 8. Golly, the Pharaoh is great. All right. Now, unfortunately, we don't have access to roadblocks yet, which is really great to have. Makes life much easier. We're gonna set up. Ooh, we gotta set up the water supply way down here. It looks like it's already kind of messed up, but it's okay. We're gonna get ourselves a hunting lodge up and running. Maybe a couple actually. We want ourselves a firehouse. Okay, and then we have an architect's post. Definitely want that. Let's set up a police station, even though I don't think crime's going to be much of an issue. And then there's the village palace, which we are going to put over here near the mines. Now, the mines really need the architect post. So yeah, so right now there's not enough employees. So you see this guy, he's looking around. My list of job openings is huge, and I can't find any workers to fill the post. Oh, people don't want to work anymore. Wah. But seriously, the issue is that you know, people haven't moved in yet. So like I'm building buildings before there's anybody to staff them. All right, let's keep doing more stuff here. Set ourselves up with that granary, and then the bazaar. Actually made a mistake here. Should have done this. I don't know if that's gonna work. Random questions. Do you have to mine natron? What's that? What is that? Okay, yeah, there we go. So they're upgrading. So you see we can fit more people in here. So like even this is just a sturdy hut. All it's got is water. But they can fit 28 people in there potentially. And so like these mines up here, these need 12 workers apiece. So certainly possible to take care of a lot of this stuff. In fact, let's put a little more here. Alright, so the bazaar, they're ready to go. They're looking for food and goods to sell. So we need to, yeah, we're trying to get those ostriches going. Now, there's going to be ways that we could eventually make things more complicated. Like right now, we only have to deal with game meat, but we could eventually set it up so that only certain amounts of food go out and things like that. But of course, all of this is going to take time. So yeah, hopefully these guys will make it down here eventually, so that they. Oh, you know what I'm remembering now? I think that there's like an issue where turn right. Okay, no, yeah, this guy, he's gonna go find some people to work. Oh yeah, you know what? I think I'm remembering now. These guys, can they not walk far enough? So what sometimes I'm kind of remembering now. What I sometimes ended up having to do was oh no, it's working. Cool. So like gold mine, he's already working. It's got all the workers it needs. and produces a small fortune in gold. So that's good because our city funds are nearly gone. But this guy, he's carrying 100 units of gold. Very, very yummy, about to come over here. Give me that gold, and then drops it off. Cha-ching! That's just a straight 100. Now, so the gold mines are very, very good because it's just instant, easy cash. Now, there's an issue, you know, later on there'll be trade, and trade is where you could really make some money when you're doing it right. But no, we're not going to have to mine the salt for mummification. Mummification is going to be a whole thing later on, though. Don't you worry about it. But I'm remembering, I think I used to have to sometimes make like these little slums so that these you know, these places would have employees. So I would make like small little mining communities. You know, I'm setting up for the Ludlow massacre out here with some people. So at least make sure they have water. I'm sure it's hot work. But as you can see, we're already getting our upgrades to meager shanties because they've got way more food than they need. And it's weird, we've already mined some gold for the palace treasury, but they haven't told us to, we're not in the next thing yet. Yeah, the game forces you to gentrify the population. Pay them in fool's gold. They'll probably know what real gold looks like if they mine it all day long. But you see, we're already having some new people around town. So like right here's the constable, excuse me. A few crimes here, a few crimes there, but nothing out of the ordinary. See, we need him because, you know, we're mining gold, so there could be robbers out there. And I think that tends to happen when the unemployment rate is too high, but it's not an issue right now, it looks like. So we're doing good. Now, eventually we're going to need 10 ordinary cottages. So, yeah, this is one of the annoying parts of the game here. So we have a sturdy hut here that has food, but it is not able to upgrade because the nearby crude hut is having a detrimental effect on the desirability of the location. And so you end up with this ironic thing where like the things in the lines, they'll upgrade, but then they're hurt by what's next to them, so then what's right next to them doesn't upgrade. But that's going to be much easier to fix once we get access to like these aesthetic buildings, so we can build like nice statues. I think we can make gardens, stuff like that. Remember the miners at Sinai Mountain? Yeah, the Battle of Sinai Mountain. Well, as Gluzman mentioned earlier, there is a documented case, or cases, I should say, of the Egyptians going on strike, most famously during the reign of Ramses III in this town called Deir el Medina. So, as far as I know, it's the first recorded strike in history. Where basically the supplies were coming in very slowly, most notably wheat, which of course you need to food. You need food to work. So they just said, until we get food, we're not going to work. Now, you're probably wondering, well, why didn't they starve to death? Well, they were able to buy their own wheat, but I guess part of the contract was that they were supposed to be distributed food, like just, here it is, it's free. You know, it's part of your payment, and so there was like ended up being a series of strikes, and it ended up working out. You know, they got the wheat coming in, and they went back to work. And I don't know more details than that actually, but yeah, they don't have food. They're gonna bitch about it. Just where. Yeah, when you're as old as Egypt, you did a lot of firsts. Yeah, exactly. That's what happens when you start writing shit down. So, an Egyptian city cannot truly flourish without suitable places of worship. So I want you all to pay attention because this is extremely important for how the game works. As some Frenchman said earlier, the gods will destroy you if you are not helping them. Because, like, when you make them happy, they'll bless you, and the blessings are nice, but the curses are awful. They'll set things on fire. They'll destroy your crops. They'll give you bad inundations, which like can lead to... Basically, when the gods start to curse you, you could just end up totally spiraling out of control, where you could just reach this point where you can't recover. So an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, to say the least, when it comes to appeasing the gods. You want to be doing that at all times. Okay, so these should be an Egyptian city cannot flourish without suitable places of worship in the form of religious temples and shrines. These should be located close to the homes that they serve and must be dedicated to one of 5 gods: Osiris, god of the Nile; Ra, god of the kingdom; Ptah, god of craftsmen; Seth, god of destruction; and Bast, goddess of home. Every city has different religious tendencies. In a given city, one god is usually held in particularly high esteem and is referred to as its patron god, while other gods are worshipped as mere local deities, and others may be completely unknown. The patron god of Thinis is Bast. Both patron gods and local deities can become hostile if not shown the respect due their positions. To appease the gods, build enough temples and shrines dedicated to each of them to serve your current population. A working temple sends a priest through nearby neighborhoods, granting residents access to the worship of his god. And he looks great, too. Festivals. Festivals are another way to appease the gods. Build a festival pavilion in the city and instruct your overseer of the temples to hold a festival for one of the gods. I don't think we're going to do that in this particular mission. I don't think it's possible, because you need entertainers, I'm pretty sure. Overseer of the temples. Consult the overseer of the temples to determine the status of each of the gods in any particular city and whether the gods are sufficiently appeased. Lightning bolts indicate the god is feeling hostile towards your city, while a blue mystic symbol indicates the god is feeling benevolent towards the city. The more you see of either, the more likely your city is to feel the god's presence, for better or worse. So that's an overlay thing. I just realized this game's going to be on hard mode because we can't look at the overlay. But yeah, so we're going to set up a temple to Bast, of course. Now, what I usually end up tending to do is I was wrong, there is entertainment, is I just build a temple to every god, like at least one. I could be wrong about this, but I think that if they're just a local deity, it'll take so long for them to get pissed about not being worshipped that it almost doesn't matter. Or I think you could even just appease them with some small shrines. But I just because, like I said, the gods could be so brutal with their punishments. Plagues. Because they will send plagues. Disease is in the game. It's a very good civilization simulator. That I just tend to go overboard with the temples. Better safe than sorry. All right, entertainment. As your city becomes more advanced, some citizens can enjoy leisure time activities, such as taking in a little entertainment. A wide assortment of entertainment is one of the hallmarks of a truly cultured city, but currently you can only provide entertainment in the form of jugglers. The juggler needs a venue on which to perform, the smallest of which is called a booth. Build a booth at an intersection to stage juggling performances, and a juggler school nearby to train performers. Both need access to employee housing, company store, anyway, and enough workers to staff them. Jugglers trained at the school will proceed to any nearby booth to put on shows, imparting a modest amount of entertainment to the surrounding area. Yeah, it's funny, I'm now flashing back to, there was just this period in my life where I was like really stressed and pissed all the time, and like I was there was this one intersection I hated having to drive through all the time. The traffic was a big part of why I was angry, but there was this dude who just started to he just had like these, the juggling pins, and he would then, like, while people were at a stop, he'd go into the middle and he'd juggle. And he used to piss me the fuck off, and I just used to say, I'm not gonna roll over him, I'm not gonna run him over. But if somebody does, I'm not gonna be sad about it. And like and I think he ended up being in the newspaper. And he was just like, "I'm just trying to brighten people's days." The motherfucker, get out of the road! You're making it all worse. Brightening day. Ugh. Anyway, consult the overseer diversions to learn more about your city's recreational needs. Yeah, so he was a juggler. He had the pin like this. Okay, juggling school. We'll just set that up there, and I guess we'll set up the booth. I think it has to be a 4-way intersection. Now, 4-way intersections can end up being quite a pain in the ass. If CHG doesn't sing "Walking in Memphis," the series will be a failure. It is a walking simulator. And I'm walking in Memphis. So see, everybody's getting plenty of employees. Yeah, the gold is just chugging right along. Very, very nice. But look, you see this stupid juggler, he's coming down this way. See, the best way you want to build the cities is you actually want to set up, I can actually do that now, I guess. You want to set them up in a square like that to minimize, actually I should do it like this. I should have just hit the undo button also there. Yeah, so that they go in a certain direction. So we don't have the roadblocks yet, but what I could do to kind of cheat it, I think, is I could is I could just clear the square of road here, so they've only got one direction. You want to you really want to minimize the intersections as much as possible. Hey there, Porky. Good to see you. What Egyptian god would I have worshipped? Are you implying I don't worship them now? You're using past tense. Okay, and yeah, so what we're gonna do, let's see, where's the religious structure? So yeah, we could set up these little shrines, and what we're just gonna do is we're gonna like make a bunch of them here in the back to help with the aesthetics. So this is actually not helping with the worship. In fact, because it keeps saying shrines must be within 2 spaces of road to affect the city. So you know the boss is not getting this worship. You know, like if you build a shrine in the middle of nowhere and there's no one around to pray, it doesn't really exist. And so there you go, you got victory. So the aesthetics become really, really important in the game. But it's also a nice decoration. I'm gonna. As long as you've been shadow banned or something, everything I turn around and see the stream for my readings, your comments are always on review. I think it's because he uses a lot of emojis, so it gets interpreted as spam. Yeah, alright. So let's carry on. We'll carry on. So excellent, you have built the first true city in this unforgiving land, providing for your city's corporal and spiritual needs, and have developed the Thinite Confederacy to unify the divided land. Let's carry on. Carry on. Alright, so now we have, it's not just that we have to have a certain amount of homesteads, we have to have a certain population limit. Now, I remember I would sometimes get really lazy when I was playing this as a kid, and I would make like the nice houses, and then I would just create these enormous slums to get the population cap up. So I'm going to try and not do that all the time. But, you know, it's an old habit. I might fall back into it. So we also have to build a granary and fill with figs. This is going to be our first time doing agriculture. So we're still struggling. We want to get we want a population higher than a village, so we got to use agriculture. Farming time! This is what it's all about right here, is the farming. You can't farm in this game, you're not going anywhere. You must build farms directly on the floodplain in order to gain the benefits of its increased fertility. Unlike most working structures, farms on the floodplain do not need direct access to employees, but do need a steady workforce of peasant laborers supplied by work camps to tend their fields. Build work camps fairly close to floodplain farms so peasants won't have to walk too far to reach them. So the work camps are also what you use to build the monuments. So like when we get later in the game, I'm going to have to be juggling probably, where I'll say, okay, it's agriculture time, stop working on the monuments, do the farming, and then once the floods happen, so there's no farming to be done, that's when you switch it back. Each year the Nile floods its banks, replenishing the depleted soil in the floodplain with rich, fertile mud. Peasants harvest the annual crop just before the inundation and deliver it to your granaries. Because there's only one harvest per year, make sure your city has enough granaries to store a sufficient amount of food for your growing population. Yeah, so surplus. It's so incredibly important. Alright, let's set up here. Yeah, we've got a city block. But I'm gonna do a separate thing. Just like last time, I think we're gonna have We're gonna have some of these be in other areas. So we'll set up the fig farms. I think it's like one work camp will cover 3 farms or something like that. So we'll go here and here. All right. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. All right, let's start setting everything up. Temples. So I really can't stress it up. You will get so fucking screwed without your temples and whatnot. Let's get a water supply. Okay. Let's see, we want the architect post. Yeah, I see it's saying employees are needed. I know. Oh, I know. Da, 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 da. We can set up the village palace. I don't think the village palace is actually good for anything right now, though. Could set up a festival square. I think I have to do like that. We'll do that later. That's not a priority. You see, you got to think about your priorities, and I was just not doing that. We'll set up a granary. Okay. It's already looking good. I want a firehouse out here as well as an architect post. You cannot have too many of those. Definitely better safe than sorry. Alright, so we've got the farms set up. Okay, yeah, we got our temple to Osiris. So it's like, yeah, a lot of this we're just going to have to wait for the next one. Alright, this work camp has got employees. So does that one. Alright, so you guys should be getting to freaking work now, I think. Yep, there they go. So it begins. Now, of course, this first harvest, we're probably not going to get a whole lot going on yet. And we're actually suffering from a lack of housing at the moment. So let's try to fix that up. So, let's see, so for me, it's Cat Girl Sekhmet. But what are you all thinking of the game so far? I know we're still a little bit in tutorial mode, but you know, I'd love to hear from you guys. We might have to build a second granary. And you got to be careful, because I've seen situations where the AI will harvest, you know, the crop, but there's no space for it to go anywhere. So they end up just standing. You see how, like, you see these ones are right here? They just end up sitting there and they fucking drown. Oh god, we got to build company housing again. What are you doing? Look, for some reason the fucking granary doesn't have employees. So I think we're about to lose this harvest. Alright, come on. And there they go. Yep, look, they all died. Oh, except for... Oh, he started to move. And yeah, he was just too short. Poor access to workers. Yeah. How annoying. Okay, well, in the meantime, let's build a road there. And we'll set up the festival square, because we got a lot of extra cash. Okay, festival square. Boom, baby. So now we've basically got to wait a whole year to get food. So this could end up taking a while. We see, we can look at these overseers. So if we look here, right now, Osiris, our local deity, he's just kind of apathetic. We're not going to quite set up... we are not going to quite set up a festival yet, I think. There we go. Let's see, yeah, we've got our company housing out here. We're going to be okay. So let's see, right now, yeah, we don't have the supply of food, so we just got to wait. But it's already December again. So you see, look at them go to work. That's what I like to see. And yeah, there we go. We've got all the farms being taken care of. So I think my ratio was correct. 3 farms for every 1 camp. Excellent. Got to do better about getting that first harvest out. It's very, very crucial. So So right now our population is 368, as you can already see. So we can probably get it up even more if we wanted, later. I think what we're going to do here is we're going to set up some shrines now. Another issue, though, with setting up the shrines this way is the architect is not able to look at them. So there can end up being like a series of collapses. But it's not a huge deal, really. We'll just build new ones. They're very cheap. And by the time that they're collapsing, we should be having a decent amount of money coming in. Actually, this particular one, there's not money coming in because we don't have gold and we're not training. It's just kind of one of those strange things where the base game's actually kind of harder. Did I not set up a bazaar? Oh, no, there it is. Yeah, I didn't see it. I didn't see it for a moment. But it's already looking like it's going to be a good crop this year. And you can check. So, like, the land is 94% fertile. Production's already 40% complete. So we're doing about 10% next a month. Next flood's in September. I think we could actually have more farms going if we wanted. That's what it looks like here. Yeah, it's ready to work. Alright, let's just check in on the gods. Yeah, it's just apathetic. He wants a festival. Let's wait until we've done a fig harvest first. See, now I don't remember the ratio of like how many we're going to end up dropping off in there as far as filling up the granary with figs goes. Hopefully we don't have to end up waiting an extra year. But it would be no problem at all for me to just set up even more fig farms. Alright, already in May. Alright. What is the problem here? Yeah, just need that supply of food. You know, I think this is where an occasion where we'll jack that speed up. So as you can see, vroom! Actually, it ain't that bad. Huh. Oh, here's how you rotate the view. Nice. Very good. Let's keep it facing north. So you see, because these guys have access to religion and to entertainment and stuff, as soon as they actually get that first batch of food, we should be seeing major upgrades all along the city block here. Okay, cool. So we already filled it with figs. Hold on a sec. We need to go to options, speed, slow that down, and let's set up another structure. Wait, not the bazaar. Fuck me. I'm taking too long. He's gonna die. Yep. He fucking died. Well, at least this one can come over. I didn't look at what the new mission thing was. Or, no, not that, not that. The message. Okay, industry. So, now that you've given your people basic food and water, you can enhance their lifestyle with other goods, such as pottery. Build a clay pit close to water, and a potter nearby. Make sure these have access to labor as usual, and before long, a cart will deliver clay to the potter, who will create pottery for your city. Build a storage yard to store the final product, as well as any excess clay the potter does not need. The clay pit can usually supply enough clay for 2 potters. It's about 3, actually, from what I remember. Those clay pits work fast. Let's see. Workers from the bazaar will collect the pottery from the storage yard and distribute it as anything else. So you see, clay, into pottery, into storage yard, to bazaar, etc. Industries like pottery also provide your city's inhabitants with much needed jobs. You can now call upon your overseer of workers to assist in allocating your workforce. Wait, workforce? Oh, what? I just heard the term workforce, industry, overseer. Like, did Marxism just get invented? So these things are like really bad for like your citizens to see. So, but we're still gonna kind of put them in the loop here because it doesn't need to be that big a loop yet. So we'll set those up. We're gonna set up the storage yard as well. Okay, and that should be that. We can get even more going if we really wanted to. Alright, your city suffers from health problems! Oh no! As to be expected with a growing population. Malaria and disease are the most common health crises that will affect your city's households, though widespread plague can strike if healthcare is exceptionally inadequate. If a house does become infected with malaria or disease, all its occupants will die, and the house cannot be reoccupied for a certain period of time. Malaria is most prevalent close to water and marshland. The risks malaria overlaid shows which houses are more likely to succumb to the illness. Just have the health nearby, and it's usually not a problem. Access to clean water from a water supply and insect repellent provided by a local apothecary both greatly reduce the risk of malaria for any given household. Like most buildings, the apothecary only functions when it has road access and labor. You know what? This reminds me of... I remember back when I was still in the Army... I was dating somebody who worked, her boss also was in the Army, funnily enough. Well, she was like in the reserves. So anyway, she had this business. She like ran some small business stuff, and one of the things that she sold though, because she actually had her fingers in a lot of things, but she would sell soap that she would make at home, and it would include like I think. She would include goat hair in it or some other stuff, I forget. But I heard she once gave me a bar and she said, do this when you're in the field. It keeps the mosquitoes away. And yeah, I would like, get my canteen water. I'd wet the soap and I'd put it on me usually before bed. And yeah, those mosquitoes stayed away from me. I don't know how good I smelled, but it's not like anyone smells good in the field. Yeah, it worked. It worked. So yeah, need to get insect repellent. So disease. Physicians help to reduce the risk of disease by administering medicines in the houses they serve. A steady supply of food is also essential to disease prevention. The risk disease overlay shows which houses are in danger of succumbing to a disease. So yeah, we have our first cases of malaria, and so now there's not enough people living in the city because, they're dying. This is a bit of a the population dying tends to cause a labor shortage. Okay, so how's it going down here? It looks like the potters still haven't found employees. Or no, they do have some. Yeah, we just have the labor shortage again. So what I think we're gonna do is we're gonna start experimenting with having bigger neighborhoods. I'm also gonna start experimenting with this particular layout where I'm gonna leave some space in between for gardens. Do I know about the other ancient Egyptian burial game called Immortal Cities, Children of the Nile? No, I don't think so. Okay, so you can see some of these have upgraded, but we're having detrimental effects go on. So yeah, we might need to really jack up the shrines. Shrines everywhere. I'm running out of money, incidentally. Come on, apothecary man, get up there. Get up there. See, because they leave and they go either left or right. It's 50-50, and he's going the long way. God damn it. Stupid bastard. So right now, even though we have upgraded stuff, we, for a moment anyway, have less than we did before. Yeah, these dumb bastards going the long way around. Oh, shoot. Oh, yeah, see, so now the shrines are collapsing. Oh, God, I think they're all going to start collapsing because I put them up at about the same time. Yep. Yep. Fuck me. That's when it all pays off. See, and don't worry, this isn't going to be happening the whole freaking game. It's just because, like, we're early on. Oh, shit. Later on, we're going to have better stuff to put back there. See, now there's issues, though. Unoccupied detrimental effects. Okay, so people are pleased with me and they're immigrating in. Good, 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 good. Set up an apothecary and a physician here. Oh my god, shut up. There we go. Mimenic Facsimile says, please plays this game better. First off, I don't know who the hell you are. First time I've seen you in the chat. Secondly, we've already discussed we knew that this was going to happen. Okay, just like our ongoing pandemic booted quite a few laborers off the market, and those businesses that depend on cheap labor are now scrambling to find more laborers who are being enticed by better opportunities. Yeah. So people are extremely pleased. Okay, the pottery is up and running. Good. If we need to fill up the whole storage yard, though, I think we're gonna need to, just for the sake of time, let's get another clay pit and stuff going. All right, we hit 500 residents already. Very good. Yeah, so we'll get the Potter going. We are out of money, so we just got some emergency funds. That's the warning, but you know, we shouldn't have to spend any more money from here on. I forget, we can't set up the tax collector yet, can we? No, we cannot. Yeah. So yeah, we just gotta start filling up on this. So what's the issue now? Yeah, I keep saying, oh, the common, the Santee. You know what? While we kill some time, let's hold a festival to Osiris. So we don't have beer, so the best we could do is a lavish festival. But let's do it. It'll be in September, so it takes some time to do. Who gave you emergency funds? Presumably the one who wants me to, you know, make things nice. Ah, finally, municipal structures. I've been waiting for these. Great job. You've got some industry up and you've gotten some industry up and running, and now you can think about making a few improvements to your city. Beautification can be used to make some neighborhoods more desirable, while other municipal structures can help things run more efficiently. Gardens, statues, and plazas. By making the area surrounding them more attractive, gardens, statues, and plazas can help houses to evolve. Several garden plots can be placed next to each other to form larger parks. Place plazas on paved roads to enhance their appearance and improve the desirability of nearby land. And the beautiful roadblocks. Roadblocks can be used to guide your city's walkers. Some walkers have a specific destination in mind, while others do not. They simply roam the streets, bestowing their benefits on any buildings they happen to pass. Roadblocks prevent the passage of these walkers, but allow those with a specific destination to pass through and complete their errands. And then there's also water crossings, which isn't really relevant right now, but those beautiful, beautiful roadblocks we can finally start using. Right there, baby. Do one of the gods give you a loan? Well, you know, it's because I'm working for the Confederation, so obviously one of them sent me out there. But let's get beautifying, people. Let's get some nice gardens going. Very nice. And we can clear this crap out. Yeah, beautification. We could do, like, I have a freaking enormous one, and we can, and yeah, you can press R to switch the different ones. Let's do that. Yeah, we're gonna have just absolutely enormous statues, so obnoxious, completely unnecessary. All right, the lavish festival has begun. Yeah, totally unnecessary to be that big. There's too little entertainment in the area. This juggler needs to be doing a better job, I think. Yeah, but look, you see, it's getting so nice. Look at that. We've got stone roads now. Very good. We might set up another booth here. I think I can. Honestly, I'm not sure. Do we have to, like, clear this? Why can't I build a booth here? Strange. Too little entertainment, but that's there. You know what it is? Here, we just got to, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna clear this out and clear the festival square, because we're gonna put the booth up here instead. So we'll... Ah! Osiris has noticed your city's faithful dedication. This is the Historia the Third me. The next inundation will be better than previously expected. Very nice. So you see, uh-oh, we got issues. Yeah, because of the lack of entertainment. It's okay, it's okay. We're not gonna panic. I said, no, we ain't gonna panic. We're not gonna panic anymore. So there we go. Now he's closer, more likely to come this way, the way he should go. Let's see here. Let me do some counting. So this is like 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops. What just collapsed? A shrine to Osiris. Oh, we knew that was going to happen. Hold on a sec. I'm trying to... It won't let me undo that. Fuck. That was dumb. Not a good way to count. Yeah, let's clear all these out. Get some more gardens up. Oh, very nice. So yeah, hopefully the entertainment will get moving. So you see, here they go. Entertainment's coming up the road. I think we need better than what we have, though. So I think actually we just, or we know, this is, yeah, why is it not saying there's entertainment when there clearly is? Like, I'm seeing the juggler go up here, I think. Now let's check the mission briefing. 10 modest homesteads and a population of 600. We got more than enough population, but now it's saying there's not enough entertainment. Let's break the... Yeah, you have a good one too, Tenebrae. Very strange. Okay, well here's the juggler over here. We're also having desirability problems again. Get the nice plazas going. Alright, so this is working at least. But then, yeah, look, the juggler's going right by them. I don't understand. Too little entertainment, how? I don't get it. Let's try to set up a new festival, I guess. Why is this happening? Oh, what happened to you? There's not enough food from the bazaar, apparently. Huh. Wait, I feel like there's a glitch in this one. Now I'm remembering it. Yeah, I think it's like impossible to get the entertainment high enough on this mission. You can't actually do it. They're running out of food, which is not good. Shit. Might need to wait for the next round of oh shit. It says there's plenty. These guys have plenty of food. They got the pottery. I don't get it. Lavish festival happening yet. I think the festival might need to go by people or something. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm really thinking about it now. I think that there is like an error of some kind that makes it not they don't let's see, your treasury bleeds money. Yeah, okay, I'm officially in debt now. What is the problem? Why does it keep saying there's no entertainment when it's right there? Fuck me. I generally don't remember what I'm doing wrong here. I think it's a glitch. I'm gonna check online. Okay. Pottery can accumulate. Bazaards get pottery. More potters and clay pits. Built an architect. Potters must have a place to put pottery. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I really don't know. No. I really don't know. Okay, yeah, upgrades are happening here, but yeah, it just keeps saying there's not enough entertainment. What the fuck am I supposed to do to get more entertainment going? Okay, I'm gonna try something weird here. Can I put another booth out, maybe? I just don't get it. There we go! Alright, that was strange. I had to double up on the booths. Okay, victory! They look to me to the character. And that's it. That is the end of the pre-dynastic period. So we should be done now with the, well, sort of. We're kind of done, but we're going to now be in the Archaic period. The villages that emerged from pre-dynastic gradually unite to form the Great Kingdom of Egypt. The young civilization founds a capital, secures its borders, masters the waters, and builds its first monumental tomb. So we're still going to be learning stuff. Well, let's watch the video first.
Along the sacred Nile River, powerful chieftains emerge, leading their people with strength of will and spirit to tame the wild landscape and bring forth the bounty of Egypt. Villages grow into prosperous cities. Earthen bricks, baked under the desert sun, become sacred tombs to forever house the souls of their departed nobles.
All right, first Pharaoh Nekhen. As the people who live along the Nile still struggle to survive in this harsh environment, a local king named Narmer, also known as Menes, has risen to power. Though Namur has dominion over much of this land, full unification of the twin kingdoms has yet to be achieved. In commemoration of his ascension, Narmer wishes your family to establish and govern a new city at Nekhen. This city will have temples to many of the gods of Egypt and numerous places of entertainment. So I think there's going to be like a little thing here. Yeah, developing culture. We're going to read this, but then that's going to be it. Beer. Your fellow Egyptians have perfected the art of brewing beer, which has become a very popular libation throughout Egypt. With a supply of barley received from local farms, brewers will make beer and deliver it to storage yards for future distribution by bazaar workers, as with food and property. Multiple gods. The patron god of this region is Ra, but Osiris and Bast are also worshipped here as local deities. Make sure this city has more temples and shrines dedicated to Ra, but don't neglect the local deities either. To accommodate your most valued citizens, make sure they have access to temples dedicated to different gods. More entertainment. Sophisticated Egyptians like to listen to music in their leisure time, as well as take in the occasional juggling performance. While only jugglers can perform at the small booth, both jugglers and musicians can perform together at a bandstand. Build a bandstand at an intersection and a conservatory nearby to train musicians. Access to multiple types of entertainment greatly enhances the quality of life in any city. Law and order. A magistrate patrolling from his courthouse helps to reduce the rate of crime by hearing grievances and making sure that cooler heads prevail. So that's it. That's going to be it for this week. Let's just go ahead and save. I'm going to call this Egypt Archaic End of First Stream. Yeah, so that's going to be it for today. Everybody seemed really engaged by this, which is cool. Thank you very much for those who donated via Super Chat. So the plan is every Friday we're going to be playing this game, just like on Mondays we'll be doing Majora's Mask until I'm done with that. Let's see, I'm trying to think what are my weekend plans. Actually, there's a chance that besides the membership exclusive stream on Sunday, there won't be any streams. Actually, that's not true, because on Sunday I'm going to do a preview stream, or maybe I'll do that tomorrow. Fuck, I need to figure that out, but it's been suggested to me that I should start up a campaign and then have it turn into something that is membership exclusive. So if you want to see anything past the first stream, you got to become a member. So I'll either do that preview stream tomorrow or on Sunday morning. We'll see. But besides those two, I would not plan on there being any other live streams this weekend. We'll see. But there is going to be a pre-recorded Hearts of Iron 4 series that should be going up by Monday at the latest. And, yeah, so lots of good, fun things happening. I'm Conquering History Games. Thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you all next time.